All right, welcome to the Addictively Speaking podcast. I'm your host, James Kashanowski, and today I have an old friend, somebody that I went to high school with. We grew up in the same town, went to the same high school, graduated the same high school. Um, we've gone our separate ways and did different things, but we kind of ended up doing the same thing and ended up in the same place: addiction and recovery. So, my guest today is Tim Elliott. How's it going today, man? How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, doing good, bro. Yeah, just celebrated a year clean yesterday. So
I know
per-
that's amazing. Yeah, that's huge
perfect.
achievement.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, brother James. If we would have chose to do it yesterday, bro, I mean, I don't. I mean, what better timing? So yeah, I think God's timing is perfect. So it's an honor. It really, truly
Y-
is.
Oh man, I appreciate you coming on, dude. It's good to have this type of exposure. It's good to share these stories and to be able to give people hope and hopefully provide some help to some people out there, man. And that's what our struggle can give to other people, is hopefully hope and
Yeah.
change.
Oh, definitely, bro. And that's this is part of it. Like this is part of my recovery, bro, is giving back to the community. And like it's it's a selfish thing too, in the same sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't keep this unless I'm giving it away, right? And that's the beauty for me about recovery, dude, is be able to give back to the community, the people, our predecessors, people who came before us, dude, had handed this down to us, and now we can give back. We can give back to other people, and so like I said, it's truly an honor.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I feel the same way. I feel it's I was thinking about it today in a way is like me doing this is it selfish because I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it unselfishly because I want to give to other people because I want people to learn from the things that I had to go through and maybe not make the same mistakes or keep traveling down the same path because there is hope and there is opportunity to change and to grow and to become better people from all of it, you know?
Amen, bro. And dude, when you're saying that, like on my heart, it's just like even about the time, like like I said, just my clean date is March 3rd of 2022. um being in recovery years ago, and then relapse is a part of my story. And unfortunately it doesn't have to be. And I think that's part of my testimony, is to share with people like that doesn't have to be part of your story. But in the same sense, I know I used to look at people who had a lot of years clean in time, and they say sometimes those people are the people who are struggling the most. It's like once you get clean, you put it down, that life's just going to be great. But dude, that's a lie. You know what I mean? It's life's still going to happen, but it's I was listening to your podcast, Eva, right, Sister Eva, I think, you had
Yeah.
interviewed, and I was listening to that, and some of the things you guys were touching on, it's just like, whoa. It's just you said we have those tools, right? The God of our understanding has given those tools, and when something happens, man, we have we have the help that we need. Before, the way I would cope with things, dude, I would just pick up a pill, you know what I'm saying, or a drug or a drink. That's how I cope with my problems. But today I don't, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I was exactly the same way. I mean, it
Mm,
was the numbing, the just to just black it all out, to just if you can just erase it for even a short period of time,
mm,
that was the way to deal with it. But now in life, I've learned that everything has to be dealt with. You have to deal with your problems. You have to cope with your issues, your anxiety, depression. You're going to have weddings, you're going to have funerals, you're going to have
mm,
birthdays, you're going to have all type of these momentous occasions, weddings. I mean, everything. You have it all. And you have to
mm.
know how to deal with every situation and deal with every situation and stay clean.
Amen, bro. And people had told me years back, you know what I mean, like what worked for them, and I'd be like, well, if it works for them, then I know it would work for me, right? So that was my hope shot, bro. When I came back, I came in the program back in 2010. Now I don't know, because I know you lived in Schuylkill County for how long?
I lived in the Skook for so moved there in 2008, and then I lived there till I left to the UK in 2017. So
Yeah.
a couple years, man. Yeah, I lived there
Right.
for a
So
while.
so I started my journey in 2010. I was forced to go to 12-step meetings, bro, right? And through the courts, bro, because I was on
Okay.
probation, right? And I had violated my probation with the DUI, right? Whoa. And I had sat in the county
Yeah,
jail for
yeah,
about
been there.
bro, it's not a fun
Been
place.
there, been there. Yeah. No,
You
county
know
jail is
what I'm
not nice. Listen,
saying? No.
it's like an old castle run down with, like, prison bars in it. It's dirty, it's grimy, it's
Oh
cold,
Lord.
is not nice, dude.
No, and I have to and it's like, yo, I can visit those places, right? Right? Today I can visit those places.
Yeah.
Ain't gotta live there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's good. Like for me, to be, I like to like. I know a lot of because AA and NA, it's all anonymous and stuff like that. But I feel like for me, it's cathartic to share my story and to at least be honest with myself and be vulnerable to other people and say, "Listen, this is I I went through that and I remember being in a jail cell. I remember it being cold and damp and being shackled from head to toe and thinking, "What the fuck did I do to get here? What am I doing?" Do you know what I
Bro,
mean? Like, and then you just spend 3 days in there locked up in seg. You're not even out in general pop. I'm stuck in a cell with a cellie, just eating bologna sandwiches that taste like shit, and then, I'm glad that I didn't continue down that road and continue to end up in jail because it's a horrible place to be, and, I won't wish it on anybody, but, I mean, at least I went through that experience, and I've learned from it, and, I can think back on it and think, "Shit, I'll never have to do that again," but I did it, and I can hopefully share that with other people and, say, "Hey, it's not the place to be. It's not how
especially
you
with,
wanna live your life."
especially with our children, bro.
Yeah, man,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Like coming from dad, like, yo, listen, like I mean, dude, I heard this, I heard a brother's testimony. This was going back a couple months ago, and I was at an AA meeting, and the gentleman he was sharing with us. He said one night of drinking. This is true testimony. He said one night of drinking led him to 15 years upstate, bro. Listen, and he said that the other gentleman in the facility, they said you best get comfortable because you're gonna, and he didn't even know what he did, bro. He didn't even remember none of it. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, bro? That, and we think that like not us, like that we're so unique, bro. We are so different, so unique from all these other, no. And those are the things, like I said, hearing those things in the meetings, bro. And that's what it keeps it green, bro. And it reminds me of where it can take us. You know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah, man.
blessed. We're blessed.
Listen,
Recovery, it's a blessing, bro.
yeah, listen, it is absolutely that. But listen, let's just touch on your story, where it started.
Okay.
So when did it all start? Because I mean, I know we went to high school together. We grew up in the same tiny little town, and I know that drugs were a thing, but I mean, they weren't like popping like they are now. I know it's
Mhm.
quite bad there.
Well,
So when did it all start for you? What was the thing that kind of catapulted you into that?
so James, what had happened here? Give me 1 second. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
man.
turn on my brightness here so I can see a little bit better. Okay. James, so what happened? Um, my parents are still married. My parents have been married now for 42 years, 43 years. I grew up in an alcoholic home. Um, my dad came from a family of 10 with 7 brothers. Um, the majority of all my uncles are alcoholics. I had so many kinfolk, cousins, blood on my dad's side in this area, in this region. My mom, on the other hand, came from from a single family, no siblings. And so, like,
Mm,
growing up for me, man, I remember so much, man. I'm looking back. I remember driving my dad home from mountain parties at a young age. At a really young age, my dad he taught me how to drive. Right, and I was so little at the time that I was too young to reach the pedal. So I used to sit on his lap and steer the truck. Well, when I got
mm.
to be like maybe 10, 12 years old, I could reach the
You could
pedals.
read the
And
petals, yeah.
Dude, we'd be out the third patch with the uncles, with the friends of the family, and it'd be on a
Uh,
school night. We'd be out there with a campfire. I'd be eating cans of soup on the campfire, and I'd be like that. I mean, not to say like I was out super late, but like when the sun set, making our way back home. But I remember that shooting BB guns, being at the pond, growing up. You know what I'm saying? Just cooking food over the fire. And for me, I'm looking back now, like I don't know, man. Like I love my parents, I love my family, but that's when I that's how I was raised, right? And so my dad had gotten hurt um on construction. He worked for, I think it was either Eastern Industries or Empire Wrecking, one of the two, and he got hurt on construction, I remember, and he blew out his back really bad, and when he blew out his back, he had this workman's compensation case open, and he was seeing all these specialists down in Hershey, and there was a lot of money on the line at that time. You know what I'm saying? He was looking at a big settlement and money and all this, and
right.
I remember him going to these appointments, and the doctor prescribing him medicine and medication, and we had a safe in our house, right? And so my dad, in order to keep the workman's comp, he had to get the medicine filled in. I don't even really remember him taking much of the medicine, but at the time he was still drinking. And
Yeah. Yeah.
my parents went away on vacation. I think I was 15, just turning 16 years old, and they were going away to the beach with my uncle Roger, who was my dad's oldest brother, and they were down the beach for like, I don't know, like 10 days. And at that time, like, not to say my parents didn't do things together, but like, my sister, I have an older sister. We're 11 months apart. Amanda's like basically a year older than I am, and
Yeah.
I don't even
I
know if Amanda.
remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if she was even still in that, because she moved out about the age of 18, but she was still around, but she was doing her things with her friends. I was doing my thing with my friends, and so I remember my parents going away down to the beach down to, I think, New Jersey or Delaware, and I had a friend here at the house come over, and I, at that time, I just started smoking pot and dabbling with alcohol, and a friend said to
Right.
me, he said, "Hey, your dad's on medicine for his back, right?" I'm like, uh I don't know. I'm like, I think he's on medicine, but I mean, I was young, and he's like, and they're like, well, where would he put it? And I'm like, there I am, oh, we have it in the safe. He goes, I could open that safe. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, daring. I'm like, go ahead, let me see it try. Dude, he grabbed two butter knives out the drawer, bro. Popped this. It was a fire safe, dude. And bro, true story. And
Two
dude,
butter knives. Yeah, that's that's Coleridgean
that's
ingenuity right there. Like,
gangster,
they're like, "Yo, we can get in that safe. Give me some
dude,
butter knives. Whole butt, get
bro.
me some butter knives."
So
Boom.
yeah, dude, he popped that thing open, and I'm like, what is this? And there it was, bro. It took away the pain. I was embarrassed, James, growing up, dude. My not my dad. I'm saying I don't hold a resentment towards my father. I love him. Um,
Right.
my grandfather was an alcoholic too, right? And he would, he was a tough man, bro. He really was. A lot of they were coal miners, bro. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather,
Yeah.
my uncles, on my, and my grandfather on my mom's side, he owned a coal company. So they were partners with the Rosini family, and the
Rosini.
Rosini
Yeah.
family, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
a lot of them are attorneys now and stuff. So that was
Yeah.
family. And so even where I live now here in Shamokin, like, we still like lease that piece of land like from the family for like $1 a year. Like, it's crazy. So like I said, that was through the family, and the house I live in was actually a coal mining home that was actually purchased through a Sears catalog, dude. Dude, it's wild. Like, that's how they built these
Yeah.
homes, dude. And so
Yeah,
the
man.
coal mining, they owned everything. So like I said, my grandfather was in with the family, and my grandfather on my dad's side, they were miners, and bro, they work, Italian and Irish, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Hard workers, man.
Dude, yeah, bro. Hardcore, bro. Hardcore people, dude. And that's what they did. They worked hard and they played hard. I remember family reunions growing up, bro. Such a, like, I mean, I'm not talking like, 10, 12 people. I'm talking 60, 80 people, blood. You know what I mean? Growing up, like, we'd go down to Elysburg. That's where my uncle lived. He worked for the postal service, and he was in the service when he was real young. So this was my dad's oldest brother. And dude, that's where it all started. I remember tapping beers, dude. I don't know,
Yeah.
dude. 8 years old,
Prob
bro. You know what I'm saying? There's cans
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
they used to pay me. They used to give me dollars, bro. They used to they used
Y
to they used to pay me. They'd give me a $5 bill, dude, all night for running and tapping their beers, bro. All my uncles would give me
yeah.
$5. You'd walk out
Yeah,
of
they
that
just
place. Come on.
yeah, because they would just sit down and chill, and they would get you to run their beers back and forth, and then,
Yeah. Yep.
well, you take a
They
little
play.
sip out of
Yep.
one while you're on the way back, you
Yep,
know?
they'd be playing their guitars. My uncle played banjo. They would sing all the old time traditional gospel and bluegrass songs while they would drink. My uncle had a pool table in the house. I learned to shoot pool there. I was drinking in the bar rooms in Shamokin at the age of 15 years old, bro, because I knew people who knew people, and they said he's with us,
What?
bro. Straight up,
Where at?
Tiffany's
Where?
Lounge,
At
15
Ti
years old.
at Tips?
Yep,
What was the one up, there's the one that you used to be able to go up to, it was up on the,
Kunkel's,
no, I can't remember it now, but it was up on the hill there, up on the other side of town,
the home
by the
plate
by the basketball courts up there.
on Arch
No,
Street.
Sunbury Street. So, like, the Sunbury Street basketball courts.
Oh, I
You
know
know,
where
the
you're
ones
talking.
the one
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's up on the hill
It's
there. It's
Packer Street.
yeah, yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but I remember going in there and buying 40s at,
Oh
like
yeah.
16 because they didn't care, they didn't card you, they just sold them
No,
to you.
Al's
So, because somebody
Corner.
told yeah, I remember yeah, I remember buying 40s of St. Ides from Al's Corner
Yep,
all the
Al
time,
Nucci.
and
He was Italian. He used to run the pizza place, and my dad played
yeah,
for them guys. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
yeah,
bro. So like
yeah,
there's a little. That's just I'm just qualifying, bro. That's but yeah,
yeah.
that's like.
S
But yeah, that's a little.
so what were the pills that your dad was prescribed? What were
Uh,
they? Was it
so
it
they would
wasn't
get
oxys, but what I was gonna say it wasn't oxys back then, it was probably more like, probably Percocet or, Vicodin,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Well,
So my dad.
sometimes opioid, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
bro.
my
Like I said, so like I said, growing up, bro. Like that's you know what I'm saying. Like so, my dad was prescribed pills at a real young age. So we did everything together, though. Me and my dad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we were real close. But as I
yeah,
got older, like it didn't stop there for me. You know, like I said, I remember being out mountain parties and up around here, dude. There was a lot of cocaine that was being sold. Coming
yeah,
in from, yeah, there was a lot of cocaine being sold, and then you know, like you said, the prescription medicine at home, and then plus, you know, dad being an alcoholic on top of it, and you know, with the rest of the family, dude, it was just like it was, and we live right by the patch, so like at that time,
yeah,
now it's all
gotcha.
closed down, which that's a blessing. But I'm saying, dude, we'd have people stopping by our house, dude, all times a day and night, bro, just getting stuck, getting just broke down, dude. The young kids on
Yeah,
ATVs, family members, bro. I mean, this highway was. I mean, you grew up, so you know, in the summertime, dude, out here, dude, it was just like it was booming. There was
all the time, because
in the
people with their
late
Jeeps going in and out, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, all the
even in the
time.
late '90s, Jim. Like I remember the summer of '99. I was up in the Pocono area and stuff, and like even out here, like stuff was. I mean, phew, I remember being out like at the Y at a young age with friends, and like oh my gosh, we were in the car, and there was so. I mean, there had to be 250, 300 people. You know what I mean? I'm like
Yeah.
so it was the culture, bro. It was the culture we grew up in. That was the culture I grew up in, bro. And you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, well, I feel like in Shamokin in general is that, like, drinking is just and not, like, drinking, but, like, binge drink, like, just being absolutely out of fucking hand was
mm,
it's just completely acceptable. I mean, when I was there, I was running roughshod, man. I was fighting in O'Shea's, I was punching people in the face, I was getting drug out of Tiffany's for grabbing people up and all kind of
mm,
shit like that. And it was
mm,
like people were just like, whatever. I come back next week with a black eye, people would be like, "Yo, what's up, Jay? Yo." And it would just be like completely normal and
mm,
nobody batted an eye. It's just what you did. It's just what we did. And it
mm.
was every single week, every single weekend, all the time.
Yeah, but that lifestyle, bro, and that you know, I had a cousin of mine who served a lot of time upstate, dude, in prison, and he's not with us any longer. God rest his soul, bro. And you know, I just to let you know, I don't know if you know this, but so I lost three cousins, right? As a direct result, I'm talking my dad's my cousins be my dad's nephews, right? My
Yeah,
uncle's
yeah,
sons.
yeah.
There was so many
Yeah.
juniors, like I'm a junior, right? And so
Yeah.
I lost three cousins as a direct result from addiction. My cousin Dal, I lost my cousin
Hell
John.
yeah.
Yep, my cousin Josh, his brother, and then my cousin Randy, who was 26. And I remember, dude, I remember at the time when my cousin Dal passed away, you know, I was saved at that time, right? And I was in recovery at that time. And
Right.
I helped with the service at my home church. So And I remember being at the service and my dad coming up to my cousin, my younger cousin Randy, and was like, "Yo, if you don't straighten out, this is the end of the this is it. Like this is what it looks like." And my dad tried telling him and tried talking to him. Um, and it's like
Yeah,
I went to a detox in August of last year, and I remember I was in detox, and my cousin Reese had gotten married, and my mom calls me. I made one phone call when I was in the detox. I was only there 5 days, and my mom calls. She's like, "I have bad news." I'm like, "I already know. I already know where this is going." She's like, "You lost another cousin," and I knew it. And I had other cousins locked up upstate, besides the three
yeah.
cousins lost. Right, so dude, that's an eye opener, bro. And I need to
Is
share
that
that with people.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's all due to drugs and
Addic-
alcohol, like, all
Yup,
the
yeah.
same thing, all addiction,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I remember Dal. I know he just it was a couple years back, wasn't it? 4 or 5 or so, something like that?
Ah,
Did he
Jesus,
pass,
bro.
was it? Or was it
It,
longer than that?
it was a little longer. I'm gonna say maybe like 2015, 2016,
Oh,
maybe.
wow, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
alright, yeah, 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 I do remember when that happened because I know people that are friends with it, like, on Facebook and stuff like that, and I saw the
Right.
stuff going on. Yeah, because you see the chatter on Facebook, recipe,
Yeah. The
and
the new.
it's a lot of pe yo, listen, it's a lot of people from Shamokin that I know that are no longer with us. Dan Dirk, we graduated with Dan
Yep.
Dirk. He was a big, heavy kid, lived right
Yep.
down the street from behind me, heroin overdose. He was living with people that were rocking it, and, yeah, I guess because it was a guy and a girl, and I guess the girl got him hooked on it, and that was it, yeah, he ended up dead. They found him, like, 3 days later, he was, like,
Mm.
bloated, so it's just really not nice. I grew up with the kid, I knew him since I was, like, 4 years old.
Yeah, bro. So many people, bro. Jim, and so like being in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous in the coal region now, right? We're like maybe fast forwarding the tape a little bit, but excuse
Yeah,
me.
no, go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead.
They like I said, the probation department basically forced me into the room, so I had to get this paper signed. And bro,
Yeah, I've been there.
true story, bro. My first meeting, I showed up. They used to have meetings every day at 12 o'clock in Mount Carmel. They had meetings like twice a day. So I'm
Yeah,
walking into these meetings, and everybody's like welcoming me, right? And I'm like kind of just like scoping the scene out. And I remember asking these people, I'm like, they're like, they're just trying to get to know me. And I'm just like, some of them had a little bit of clean time, some of them there was newcomers, and I'm just like, I just want to know how to use successfully and not end up in prison. Like that's where I was at it, bro.
yeah, yeah, hey, but
True.
listen, that's part of it, that's part of it is
Yeah.
trying to, you just getting clean and, like, staying clean is a tough thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. People like, I mean, you have to go through these moments. Like, I remember quitting for 6 months and then just relapsing and going straight back
Mhm.
into it because I was just pressured by other people who said that I was good, like, "You could just it doesn't matter, like, you'll be fine, just have a couple drinks," and then, the snowball started rolling, and I was a complete absolute mess again. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, you just you were doing it because you were court ordered. It's not because you were like, "Hey, I wanna get clean." You were like,
Yeah, I want to
"I
clean up. No,
I
and,
yeah, I need to
and
get this paper signed."
yeah, bro, and like, because I don't want to end up back in jail, right? And so,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
let me share with you, bro, what in that time, something clicked, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like I mean, it didn't happen right away, and I remember I had like 60 days clean,
Right.
something like that. And I remember my dad, he was going to the doctor to get his medicine filled, and I'm like, dude, it's like a Tuesday night, or I think it was a Thursday night. We used to meet above the old skate our way for the NA meetings back in the day. And I was like, I'm going to the meeting, and I'm like, well, dad's coming home from the doctor. And I'm like, that desire was not lifted at that time. 60 days clean. I still didn't have a
No.
desire like I was still fighting those demons, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, bro?
yeah, like wanting to use or, like, finding
Yeah,
an
like wanting to
excuse to
use, but
you
like
not
knowing
yeah,
there's
like
consequences.
right, yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
Seeing if you could use and get away with it or, like, whatever,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Nobody would
Teetering
know.
on the yeah, no, teetering on the edge, and then you could just be like, "Listen, I did it, and I won't do it again." But yeah,
Dude. So I remember couple different occasions too. So and so what did I do? But I took the pills, and I went to the meeting. I went to the meeting high, and I'm like, man,
yeah.
my name's Tim, and everybody. I mean, and they're like, yo, and they're like, we love you, bro. Like just keep coming back. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, bro, but listen, let me tell yo. So I had, like I said, 60 days, and this was back in like 2010. And I picked, I had picked, I went to the meeting high, and I'm like, but dude, I didn't stop going. I was like, I feel ashamed, and I know that this is not what God wants for me. And dude, I didn't stop going. And so I worked through that. And looking back now, I'm
Mm,
just, whoa, like how even this past year, Jim, like it's been very challenging. And honestly, a year ago, I met, and you and I just start talking at that time too, I think. And
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's how cool recovery is, bro. Because like you're just like, bro, what's up? And then I told you where I was at, and I'm like, dude, and all of a sudden, bro, a year later, here we are. Like that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny, because, uh, another one of our old classmates, Justin Miller, had he told me he messaged me, and we were talking, and he was like, "Remember Tim Elliott?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So Tim, cool, yeah, me and him used to hang out. And, he was like, "Yeah, he's in recovery and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, really?" So, I just figured I'd find you and shoot you a
Oh, that's
message
awesome.
and just see
Yeah,
what's up. So it's honestly, it's like, yeah, it's like
family.
a universe put us in a place to just kind of reconnect, and here we are right now. You're a year clean. We're doing this podcast. We're sharing some experience. I mean, it's a good thing, man. It's a good
Oh,
thing.
oh, it is. It's cool too. I remember Justin like growing up. So I was really good friends with Brian Dillaplaying growing up, and Brian
Yeah.
and Justin were
Yeah.
almost like neighbors. And I used to spend a lot of time with Brian at his house. Um, like on the weekends in the summertime, like we played basketball together, we rode bikes together, we did all types. I mean, we're close. And I
Yeah,
just
man.
remember going over to Justin's house. He's like, "We're going over to rent movies." He's like, and at that time, bro, I didn't drink what I mean. I wasn't, and I know, and this is the crazy thing, because I know some of the other guys did. It started for them, Jeff Arbogast, some of them guys, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
and
know,
they'd be
okay.
like, and I remember at that time they'd be like, I'm like, "What do you guys do?" And they're like, I'm like, "You guys are drinking." And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't, and I didn't. I remember I didn't, but not soon after being at that age and being a father and having children, Jim, too, it's like, oh Lord, like, you know what I mean? Like being into those things at a young age like that. And it's like I didn't have a desire to want to do those things. And then like I got around another group of guys. We used to all ride bikes together, and my one friend started dealing pot, and then it just led into bigger things. We are going down to Bloomsburg University on the campus, other college universities. People were dropping acid and ecstasy, and just it was crazy. You know what I mean? And then people, they were involved, methamphetamines and speed, and then just finding people in our hometown that were in that kind of scene. And I was the
Yeah.
treatment one. I was in the treatment one time in Marworth when I was like 17 or 18 years old. And I remember they brought my dad and my parents in, and they looked at my parents, and they said, I remember they said something to my dad, and they said, would you be willing to stop drinking for your son's recovery? My dad's like, he's the one that has the problem, not me. Bro, that
Oh,
was, yeah.
wow. Shit.
Yeah,
But I
bro,
mean, I'm
that's
I mean,
hardcore.
that's tough though.
That
I
is.
mean,
But there was
because
truth to that.
yeah, but again, I mean,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
his his his
They say that.
alcoholism indirectly results in your alcoholism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's come on.
Yeah.
It's not just your problem. It's, you know, we li
Generation.
we you're yeah, and you watch it, you grow up in it. It's acceptable. I mean, people don't think that they're alcoholics. Nobody wakes up and just goes, "Yeah, I'm a shitty alcoholic." Do they?
Mm,
It takes a
mm.
long time before you get to the point where you like,
If
it took me
if you
11
do.
years. Yeah, absolutely. And because alcohol is so socially acceptable, pardon me,
You
you
go ahead.
can be so you can drink every single day and nobody goes, "Whoa, do you think maybe you have a problem?" Because it's acceptable, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not. Like back where we're from, guys come home, they were hard working, they're out, working all day, might get a case of beer and they drink half a 30 pack.
Mm.
That's normal. That's
To get
normal.
started.
Yeah, just to warm up. I mean,
Yeah, bro.
that's normal, bro. There's a lot of people that do that from where we come from, and that's
I
just
know.
what we see. That's what we grow up with. And you
Yep.
think that drinking 15 beers on a Tuesday night is just, whatever. We'll go to Tiff's then and we'll have a couple more drinks and then, we'll go home, get a couple hours of sleep, and then we'll go back out and go to work. And that's what they did.
Mm.
I know tons of people that were functioning alcohol. I was personally not a functioning alcoholic. I drank and
Nah,
just couldn't
bro.
do fucking
I couldn't
anything.
do James,
I
same for me, bro. Um, I'm not saying I'm not a functioning addict, bro. I'm not, or an alcoholic.
no,
Like I'm just
yeah,
like, for me, dude, like I can't hold a job. I don't want to get up. I'm like, it just, bro, it takes for it's, they say what, spiritual, spiritual, emotional, and physical, right? I don't know if that, whatever order it's in, but bro,
right.
my spirituality goes right out the door. I stop praying. I stop giving thanks to the Lord. I stop going to church. You know what I mean? Mentally, I get stuck in that lie. You know what I'm saying? And then I become physically dependent on it. Then, like, you know what I mean? I'm basically a shell. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so, I look back too. Like, I remember my parents saying to me, like, during my relapse, they're like, "Yo, we see a change in you, not for the better." And I'm like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I
Yeah.
trying to cover up that pain. You know what I'm saying? Gone through a divorce. I'm just, dude, at the end of the, at the end of the day, bro, seriously, I was paying to get up and paying to go to bed, period. That's what it was. It wasn't even working. It didn't even work anymore. None of it. That's all I was doing was basically coming up with money, right? To get myself out of bed, to put myself back to sleep. You know what I mean? Babe,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you felt like hopeless and helpless and that
Yeah.
life was worthless. I was at a point too where I look back now and I can see like there were points in times where I was like doing things that were really dangerous and didn't give I didn't give a fuck about my life. Like I didn't care. I remember I was in Ocean City with a bunch of friends, and we had a hotel, and I got super drunk off of Everclear, and decided that I don't know. It's dark. It's probably about 8, 9, 10 o'clock. It was probably later. It was probably about 10, 11 o'clock because it was summertime. So I decided that I was just gonna walk straight into the ocean in the dark on a closed beach and just start walking out into the ocean. And just, the waves are hitting me, knocking me back, and I'm drunk. I'm super drunk. So
Wow.
I mean, I'm not and I'm just literally just walking out there and getting knocked down, falling in the water, waves hitting again because they're crashing in. And I now look back on that moment and think, Jesus, I really didn't care. Like I really wanted to die. Like why would you do something like that? Like what would be the provocation to decide that you're just gonna stroll out there? Like, yeah, by myself, alone.
Mm,
Yeah. Like I wanted to just walk out there and get swept away in the ocean and die.
mm,
I didn't want to live anymore. And I did all these things like, that were like um not like suicide attempts, but, like, when you look at it now, like, was I trying to kill like, was I
yeah.
subconsciously just walking out there and thinking, like, "I don't care if I come back. I
Mm,
don't care if I don't come back. It won't matter." So that's scary to think that I was in a place that dark,
mm.
you know?
Yeah, bro, for sure. And like man, as much as I believe in the Lord and have faith and trust in God, there is a lower power, bro. And when you talk
Yeah.
about that, Jim, and your experience, it reminds me that there is a war, dude. There's spiritual war. I believe it's, you know what I mean, for our souls, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, just seeing people like, or who are under like, now that we're clean and sober, bro, I mean, I'm not sure how your community is exactly where you live, but you grew up in the coal region, like, and some of the things that had taken place. But I'm saying, when you look at that, bro, from a clear lens, a sober lens, and you look, bro, I mean, you see it on TV, bro, and like, some of these spring break videos and all, whatever, bro, and you see the way people are, like, you're like, it looks like something's got a hold of them, because in our right minds, bro, looking through a clear, sober lens, we're not doing them things, bro.
Yeah, I look at a lot of stuff and think, "Wow," like, I watched, uh I watched Dope Sick. Do you see Dope Sick?
Is that a
Have
series?
you
Is that like a is that a is that
it's a
like
It's a
Doc-
series. It's yeah, it's a series that was on, we got it on Disney Plus over here. I don't know what you it might have been on Hulu over there.
yeah, I'm not.
Um, so it's basically about, Purdue Pharma and what they did with Oxy and
Oh,
how they marketed it to coal mining regions, West Virginia,
yeah,
steel states,
yep, yep.
Pennsylvania, and, it was basically how they just basically, lied, overprescribed, and basically created the opioid crisis, and
Dr. Crane.
then yeah, man. So it's just, like, things like that, like, where you look at it and you think, "Wow." Like, that everybody you hear about, "Oh, there's an opioid crisis, and there's this and that," and but, like, the people who created it
Mm,
aren't getting in they're not in trouble, are they? It's the
no,
people out there that are the addicts, that are dying in the streets, and everybody's going, this is horrible, this is terrible," but nobody's going, "Hey, you guys made this shit. You guys made it and then peddled it to people and told
because
everybody that it was super safe, and now these people have gone from it, and now they're shooting heroin and fentanyl and dying
it's
dead in the
cheaper.
street."
'Cause it's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, because because eventually you can't get prescribed it anymore, or you have to find another way, or you can't get high enough on it anymore.
Bro, and
So
that's truth. There's truth there, bro. Because what, like I'm saying, what I was paying for a pill, a 10 milligram pill, compared
yeah.
to, oh, bro, it's cheaper. And I'm being serious. But let me tell you, I don't want to. I mean, I was
I
already
mean,
dead.
fent
I was already dead spiritually, right? So like, but like, I didn't want to like, bro. I just read an article. Sorry, Jim. Excuse me. I just read an
Mhm.
article from out in Pittsburgh that there was some kind of operation. They did a big sting, and they were explaining, like, a lot of these areas that they were targeting. But no, that's a real thing. And this coal and bro, this coal the coal region and these mining towns, bro, like, these people are, and they're getting away with it, bro. And that's why I believe, like, in recovery, bro, we gotta do things that we're doing now, bro, to help. Dude, family members, there's some, they don't get it. Their sons or daughters, bro. Like, why? I've talked to ladies in recovery here in the coal region, Shamokin, the recovery centers. They're like, I don't understand what's happening. I don't get. I'm like, Miss, let me tell you what the deal is. You know what I mean? And bro, that's why we
Yeah.
have to keep doing these things that we're doing, bro. To and it's so, bro. We are like people. I'm talking. I've been in, dude. My old pastor, real quick, dude. I'll let you continue. My old pastor,
No.
remember being in my old church, right? And I was clean a couple years, and this gentleman walks in to the church, and we're downstairs, and I was with a couple of friends that were like in recovery and just part of the congregation. My other friend, he never did a drug in his life, and the pastor looks at me and goes, this is his exact words, bro. He looks at this guy, and he points to me, and he said, oh, this is Tim. He's a recovering heroin addict. Now, bro, when I look, like, hindsight, but looking back on that, I'm like, yo, I'm a child of God, bro. You know what I'm saying? That stigma, like, basically saying he's the worst of the worst, but look at him now. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you get what I'm saying, bro? How people, there's such a stigma, and until we break that, bro, people are gonna suffer inside. They're losing their lives, bro, because of believing that lie.
And the thing is too is, when you say like, "Oh, you're you're in recovery, or you're an addict," or you admit to what you are and own what you are. Nobody like people don't like to do that. You don't like to come out and say like you have a fault, like you have something, like there's something wrong with you. Like, saying that you're an addict is it's looked down upon.
Yeah,
Again, like people get called junkie or crackhead or whatever. I mean, I've personally used those terms. I mean, I have, but I still think about like when you think about those things, and we think about the stigma and how people get put down. Like I know, I mean, people like say that I help them, and that I'm a good role model and stuff like that, and that makes me feel good. That my recovery is being beneficial to other people, hopefully.
amen.
But yeah, it is tough because when you tell people instantly, they just think, "Ooh, recovery from what? What were you on? What did you do?" Does it really matter what I did? Do I have to tell you? I mean, can you just respect the fact that I'm in recovery and I'm not that person anymore? I mean, that should be enough, right? but you have to explain yourself, you know?
Mm,
And you have to kinda, like, say, like, "Oh, I was an alcoholic," or and then somebody goes, "Oh, okay," or, "Oh, oh, so you drank a lot," and then I have to kinda, like, tell the whole story. But, if I'm
mm.
in recovery, people should just accept that I'm in recovery and that I'm in a better place now. I'm a happier person. I live a happier life, through
Amen.
recovery and with recovery, and I'll spread the word of recovery to the ends of the earth because it's given me a life that I never thought I could have. And
Amen, bro. And
uh,
and that's I'm proud of you, bro. And I honor you, bro. I really do, bro, for doing what you're doing, dude. And it's just like I said, it's an honor being a part of that. And like a quick example, Jim, being at work, I remember where I started my new job, and I was only like 2 months clean, and bro, I was honest with my boss, and I told him that, and I
yeah,
and so I just had actually Friday they did my evaluation at work, and everybody got a raise and stuff like that. And one of the other gentlemen, he's a maintenance guy, and he said to me, he's how did everything go? I'm like, and I told my boss, I'm like, today's my anniversary, and he thought like I meant like 1 year anniversary being at work. I was like, no, my clean date, and he's like, dude, that's
yeah.
so great. And he was in state prison for armed robbery for heroin, my boss. So you know what
Shit.
I'm saying?
He knows the struggle. You know what's funny is that there's so many connections with recovery, like, you don't even realize it, but, like, these other people who like, that's what I just thought about, like, when I was doing this, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna see if people wanna come on and be interviewed," and I just saw there's so many people that I'm connected to that have gone through the struggle and that have come out the other side, and I just wanna shed light on their stories and, like, shed light on their recovery because, like, why not? This is what it's about, is to, like, breathe this hope into the world, right? So that's
Dude,
why
it's awesome.
I just reached out to as many people as I could, and I was like, "Just come on, share your story, share your struggles, share your happiness. Let us know what's what," you know?
Dude, that's and the cool thing about it, bro, is this is not a coincidence because when I come back into recovery as part of Recovery Church, right? And so
Mhm.
it's so cool,
Yeah,
bro. And if you ever come up to visit, bro, I like for you to come and just check it out. It's a great dude. It's not a glum. It's not like being in an AA meeting. You know what I mean, bro? There's life there, bro. Like we do the worship where people are just on fire, dude, for God, just sharing their testimonies, dude. Just like it's awesome. And so dude, I felt like the Lord laid that on my heart to do something similar, even in this area. And I'm talking now, Jim. I know just like people in recovery, but what about What about the police officers? What about the EMTs, bro? What about the school teachers? What about the attorneys? What about the drug court people? What about the probation officers? You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
and it's big as we want it really to be. So it's like I really feel that I, I'm not saying that's my responsibility or my job, but I'm saying to really help break that stigma in our culture, man, we gotta get out there, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like check it out, bro. Look, you go into the city, and not even in the cities, but bro, on the TV, dude, the medical marijuana, dude. It's what I'm saying. The dispensaries, alcohol, dude. It's glitz and glamour, dude. It's in Hollywood. The drugs, they're basically like glamorizing fentanyl in the streets of Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, look at this. So, bro, we gotta be strategic too, and we gotta rise up, bro. And we gotta be that solution, right? I mean, if we sit back and do nothing and say nothing, bro, people are gonna be dying left and right, bro. Really.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're here to share
Man.
stuff and just to get things out there, to talk about issues, to talk about what's going on in the streets, what's going on in your communities.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
because like I want to shed the light on the stuff that you're doing at home, like like your recovery church. And I know we had talked previously. You guys are doing like a recovery house, is it? There was a
Yeah,
You were saying that the recovery church that bought a building in Sunbury or something. You want to
yeah.
talk about
So
that?
yeah, Jim. So I'll break it down here. Like, long story short, I was
Yeah.
in a detox in August, and when I was in the detox, I went in on a Sunday, and they didn't even do my intake. And the lady looks at me and she says, "Oh, you coming to church?" I said, "What?" She goes, "We're having church." I'm like, "Church?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "I'm in, bro." They didn't even do my intake. I'm walking. I, I walked in the church, sat down. There's Pastor Bill and his wife. Her name's Shawnee, and bro, now don't get me wrong. Now I'm talking like this is August of last year, right? So I wasn't ready, bro. I'm not August of last year. Sorry, it would be 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
at that time, it took me 9 months after that. But so, long story short, we celebrated a year as far as the Recovery Church as a whole in August of this year, and dude, like we went down to Nashville, Tennessee with the leadership team for Recovery Church. We came back from Nashville, Tennessee, and we have a sponsor in Milton, Pennsylvania, and they agreed to they bought two properties in Sunbury. It was called the Augusta House. It was an old restaurant on
Okay.
Chestnut Street in Sunbury. It's kind of like 3 blocks behind the courthouse. So they bought the Augusta
Okay.
House, and they're gonna house 15 men. They named it the Lighthouse, and God gave me that word, and I shared it with Pastor Billy, and he's like, "Dude, I could not come up with a name for this facility," and he's like, "That's it." I'm like, "Bro, that's that lighthouse represents the hope in our community. That people that are living in darkness see that light, bro, and see a hope and see a future, right?" So they got the Augusta House, and then also they got the building on Fourth and Market in Sunbury, right at caddy corner from the Edison Hotel, and it's a 5-story building, and
Okay.
the church agreed to invest like $2.3 million into this building, and that's going to be Recovery Church. They gave it like 18 months to 2 years. So I don't know how I don't know all the details, but that's just a little bit of like what was revealed to me, you know.
Dude, that's
And we got
huge. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
that's
bro.
great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we got
great.
people. We just have people come down from like the Bronx, New York, up in Brooklyn, New York, come down and lead worship, and yeah, bro. So it's really cool, bro. And then that's what I said, and maybe I can like to connect with you more, and hopefully connect you with some other people from this area in this region. You know what I mean? To share
Yeah,
their story
absolutely.
too.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. That would
Yeah,
be
man.
great. Yeah, absolutely. I just wanna get people on sharing their recovery, sharing their struggles as well, because we gotta do both sides of the coin, you know? You can't see
Yeah,
the
bro.
light if you don't see the darkness first, so we gotta show people how dark it gets so that, they can see that the light is the way, you know?
Amen, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. So, what else you got going on? What else you wanna share, man?
Dude, I'll share a testimony. So my place of employment, I work for a place called Community Aid, and so it's in Sealands Grove, across from the mall there, and it's a thrift store, right? But dude, it's more than that, bro. And our like slogan is like neighbors helping neighbors, but bro, let me check it out, dude. It's more than a job, bro. And I'm not even talking about the money. I'm talking about the people, bro. Dude, it's a commute, bro. Listen, my friend said to me, Tim, the culture in Shamokin in the coal region, you have to fight for this culture if you want to help change it. Or you can go across the river where there's already a culture established, right? And so God's timing is perfect, bro. And as soon as I came back into recovery, I recommitted my life to the Lord. I start going to Recovery Church, and then the Lord put me in my place of employment, and it's a Christian organization, and they partner with like rehabs, churches, halfway houses, all types of ministries, dude. All in this like I don't want to say tri-state area. It's like all throughout like the tri-county area, like
Yeah,
Mifflinburg, Middleburg, Shamokin, Selinsgrove, Mount Carmel, and so
yeah.
what better place, dude? What a better net, what a better God couldn't have put me in a better place, bro. And my bosses, my supervisors, there's a lot of Christian people there. Not everybody is, but dude, when people come in that place, I had so many people like just testify like God's goodness, like like they're like, I am so, bro. There's not Jim. I kid you, I'm 41, bro. I had so many different jobs, and there's never a day that I regret having to get up and go to work, bro.
That's amazing. That's what it's all about,
Yeah, bro.
not regretting going to work.
Dude, it's like like work, almost like working yourself out of a job, right? And just being able to bring
Yeah.
other people in and lift people up, and I'm like kind of like not saying an evangelist, but I'm always wanting to evangelize people and talk with people like, yo, in the stores, Turkey Hills, dude, Walmart's like, yo, what's up? Seen a sister a couple months ago. I'm in the Walmart, and I remember this girl growing up. Yeah, so I remember this girl growing up, and I'm looking over my shoulder, and she's at the register, and dude, I see she has these track marks running up and down her arm. I'm like, dang. I'm like, I need to pray with this girl, bro. I need to approach this girl, and she knows me by name, and her name's Sarah. I said, Sarah, She's like, "Hey Tim, how are you doing?" I'm like, "How are you?" And she's like, "Not good." She's like, "I'm not doing good." She looked right at me, brother, and she said, "She's like, I'll be lucky to live another 6 months." That's it,
Damn, bro. That's
bro.
heavy.
That is,
That's
bro.
crazy.
I was at Walmart getting my oil change, but yo, guess what? I knew that I was off work that day. I was like, it's not a coincidence. And I prayed for her, bro. She's like, "Thank you so much." I'm like, "You're welcome." And those are the things, bro. Like I said, and being in this community, dude, like, you know, it's small, but I know God has bigger things for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But my heart's for the lost, bro. The people who are sick and suffering and then just living in darkness, dude. I feel like that's why God walked me through what he walked me through.
And now you're here. Now you're here doing the work, man. You're putting the work
Praise the Lord.
in. You got the sober time in. Now you can use that sober time to, do these other things, do the work with the recovery church, do this podcast, share,
Yeah,
and
bro.
get out there, get some exposure, you know, and try to get other people invested in what you're doing because what you're doing is a good thing. It's a great
Amen.
thing,
Thank you.
you know?
I appreciate that, bro. And another quick thing, like I don't know what I don't know if you ever so like up here it used to be 3 years, now it's a year and a half, but you or 18 months, but you can go to be basically a certified recovery specialist, right? And so basically you're like almost like a paid sponsor, and I think that's a good thing for this area in this region, just in general,
Yeah.
even in the cities, bro. Like when people get out of like treatment or out of state prison, they should have somebody like you, bro, and somebody like me that's right there waiting for them out that gate. Like,
Yeah.
yo, let's go to a meeting, bro. Let's get you connected. Let's get you plugged in. Let's get you, find you whatever you need. Find you a job, do transportation, like in the recovery
Yeah.
community, bro. You know what I'm saying? like, and
To
I've
set
seen
up
that with
to set Yeah, you gotta set that you have to set up that, like, personal network for it, like, because people don't know what to do, and then
yeah,
they
and they
just
go right
you just
back
go
to
you go straight back to it, yeah. So
yeah,
if you have somebody guiding you, it would be so much easier
yeah, bro.
to stay clean or try to stay clean, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
At least if you're put on the right path and you make the wrong choice, I mean, then, you have to go through that to come back and, hopefully, again, try to make the right choice, but,
right. If you
yeah,
make
I
it
think,
back,
yeah, 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 absolutely, but I think you're right, I think that's a great thing is that, like, yeah, I went to be right before I was leaving, I was gonna be a certified I was going to training for a certified recovery specialist, but, I stopped going because there was this guy, and he was just very triggering, and I just couldn't be there because he was just like, we're all there trying to, like, do the work and get and become recovery specialists, and he was just I don't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't right, and I needed to just kinda, like, pull myself out of it,
right,
because I had a friend that got me into it, and he hooked me up with some people, and, yeah, I was really excited about it, and doing, like, all the courses and the learning and stuff like that. Because I mean, it, basically breaks down everything, the addiction, disease, all of it tells you, what this drug does to your mind, what this does, what it tells you everything. But yeah, there was just one guy that was making it. He was just, oh man, he was just making issues, and I don't know. He was just not my cup of tea. So I was just like, you know what? I did it for about 3 weeks, and then I was like, I'm not gonna finish this because I don't want to
yeah.
be around them. It just wasn't, yeah, it wasn't the right time. But I
I
did get
it
there's a lot of good information, and there was a lot of good people at it. So,
Yeah, it's changed a little bit. My buddy's going through it right now. My buddy Ben, and like I forget, he's doing a weekend thing down in Harrisburg, and it's like,
mm,
yeah, so it's like from like 9 to
yeah,
2 or nine to
yeah,
3, Saturday and Sunday. So he works full time during the week, and then he's doing it on the weekends. But it's like a
yep,
thousand dollars, but you can get grant. It's $1,000 for the certification. Then you got to
yeah,
test, you know what I mean, and get your state exam and all, and your stamp or whatever. And so, yeah, man. And I don't know, like even like with the recovery house, the Augusta house, like, but bro, one thing for me, I'm not willing to sacrifice like my days, like I am a single father, you know what I'm saying, and my daughter do like just I'm not saying she like I know like Lydia, she sees the difference in me, bro. But I'm saying like she was brought up in the church, bro. Like ever since she was born, like I was always there, even though I was sick these past few years, bro. In a sense, but I never left. I think the longest we ever been away from each other was like 4 or 5 days, and she'll be 9 years old, or she'll be 10 in November. So, but dude, like I said, I just, you know, dude, kids are a lot smarter than we think, bro. Like some of the things she's been telling me as of late, I'm like, where are you hearing this? Like what? Like, bro, and we have to stay up, we have to guide our children spiritually, bro. You know, that like Lydia will have a better chance than I had, right? And my dad had a better chance than my grandfather did, right? So our children are gonna have a better chance than we had, and their children's children. So, bro, I just pray for our families and our children, bro, that God keeps his hand upon them, bro. And they know what sin is. They know what wrong is, right? And so, I mean, man, I'm very blessed, bro. It's such an honor, bro, to be able to share, dude, my experience, strength, and hope with you, bro.
Dude, I honestly appreciate it. It's been great having you on. It's been great
Thank-
catching up. And hopefully we can we'll just stay connected and we'll keep working with each other. And anything I can do to help with your recovery, I'm more than happy to, man.
Aw
Absolutely.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, like I said, we have a good amount of people involved with the Recovery Church Sunbury. I mean, I do go to the local recovery. We have the Oasis too in Shamokin, and I mean like other local meetings. But that's kind of like our hub, like the Friday night Recovery Church. Like that's a lot of people from other churches, other recovery centers, other rehabs come in. Women in transition houses, places like that. They're connected with the
Yeah.
Daystar down in Harrisburg. They're bringing people up from Harrisburg. We got people coming from the Bronx. West Virginia has a recovery church only 3 hours away. We got one in Pittsburgh. Plus, my
Wow.
cousin and her husband just bought a church out in Hooversville, PA. So it's in between Altoona. And Altoona is a big recovery town. So Altoona and
Mm.
Pittsburgh, we got connections out there. And then we got the main guys down in Florida. That's where it's really going down. Florida's a big recovery state.
That's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like over in the UK, like recovery community is not like a thing. That's why I did this because
Really? Wow.
yeah, because it's not like a thing, like, it's not like in America, it's like a real big thing, like, there's like, small little recovery things all over the place, right?
Yeah. Wow.
But you don't see it as much over here. Um, it's not as prevalent, at least in my experience, I haven't seen tons of it. Um, so yeah, so it's kinda weird, but I love the energy that, like, a recovery community brings. It gives me a great place to channel my energy, for my recovery. But yeah, so for me, I didn't really find a lot of that. So I just decided, I have stuff that I need to say. And I just decided, like, I'll start this podcast, see what happens. If anybody listens, amazing. If nobody listens, whatever. But yeah, I'm really, I just really wanted to do it to help with my recovery because it gives me, it helps me give back to other people. And that's like a huge part of my recovery is being able to help people through like shared experience, through life experience, through it all, So I love hearing about like your communities and stuff like that because
Bro, it's
yeah,
yeah, it's and another thing quick I'll share with you, James. So we had like a speaker spotlight thing going on like once a month. It's like one Saturday a month, and so I'd gone to this. I think it was last month or the month before, and I was running around, I was busy. I'm like, I gotta get down to the meeting, right? And so I get there, and if I had a friend of mine who was sharing a story, and I haven't seen him, bro, in probably 10 years. I used to use with this kid, and dude, he's 10 years clean by God's grace. 10 years clean. He has a son and a child on the way. He just gotten married, and he I think graduated from King's College. Is that up in Wilkes-Barre? And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he moved back to the region, dude, because his family's here, and help with the kids while he's working. And he said that he had I think his had purchased uh, a building on Sunbury Street in Shamokin, and they have plans on putting a halfway house in. Now,
Oh wow,
you know how the community can be, but I'm saying, I'm all for that, bro. I'm all for that. Like, um, we have a lot of people moving up this way from New York City, from upstate New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore.
yeah,
My daughter's family. my ex-father-in-law and my ex-wife, their families from Baltimore City, Maryland. So we have people
Mm,
coming from all over, bro. And I'm not, and then plus we have the prison. So a lot of the people who are doing some heavy time, bro, their families are coming up here because they want to be close to their loved ones. So I
yeah.
mean, what comes. I'm not saying it's everywhere, but like, um, it's changing our culture, bro. Right, and so that's why I think it's really important for us to get out there into our communities and share these things.
Yeah, because you're the face of the community then. And at least like for me, when I was doing recovery work in Schuylkill County,
Right,
I was going to high schools. We were speaking at drug awareness days. Like those things are huge. Like because you're impacting the future, right? Like I was talking to kids that were 16 years old. The toughest thing to do is get up in a room full of 16-year-olds and speak your truth, right? And tell them, you know,
right.
all the shitty things you did.
Mm.
And just hope that it gets through to, one of them,
One. Ooh,
just one, or maybe somewhere when they're down the line and they're in a real shitty spot, they think, "Man, I remember that guy. I remember what he said in my high school." And then they
wow.
turn their shit around. But you know what I mean? Like you don't know what that is or what it could be. But I think like places like Shamokin and like Mount Carmel and like those surrounding areas, like they should do that. They should have drug awareness days. They should have that. That's in their community, and ignoring it isn't helping it. I don't remember. I remember what do we have? Dare programs and
Dude, I
say
don't
no
even
to drugs.
remember. I don't even remember, bro. I mean, maybe I was like out there. I don't know, but I don't
No,
remember much
do you
of. I
remember?
don't.
No, do you
I
remember
don't.
Whiteout Day? We had Whiteout Day. Remember where they did the fake car accident and the people had to get
Oh
their face
yeah,
painted
yeah,
white?
yeah,
Yeah, just whack as shit. Like nobody
yeah,
cared.
yeah. Like nothing. Like,
Yeah, like somebody wrecked their car because they were drunk driving, and then everybody's like, "Yeah," But like,
well,
I
that's
think there
that's
needs to be like
confirmation.
more. Yeah, there needs to be more drug awareness, like with people with life experience, the shared experience, addiction.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the way we break the stigma is to go into those schools and share our stories and show people this is what I was, this is what I am now. You can go from that to this. You can have a good life and you can recover. You need to show them that is possible.
bro. And so many children. I know, even being a part of my old church here in Shamokin, like we had a life center, bro, and these kids would come after, like they had it open up after school, and now it's a coffee house, bro. What I'm saying, whatever, dude. But like, what about the youth? Like, I remember when I first got saved, bro, and coming to church, like, and being in recovery, it was so youthful, bro. There was kids everywhere, dude. Yo, something needed done, dude. Yo, grab a couple kids, let's go. And the kids loved it, bro. They just loved it. And dude, I built relationships with these kids, with the teens. And there's kids today that like just earlier, my daughter, she had a basketball game, and two of the kids, I know her mom, and I know their uncle and his family, but I'm saying like those kids, like there's not a father in the picture. And I'm just like, these kids are like they're like my own kid, bro. I love them just as much as I do Lydia, and I'm like, and seeing that, bro. But like, that's confirmation, Jim, because God had laid that heavy on my heart about getting into these places and talking, and even like the like Bucknell, Bloomsburg, bro. That's, I mean, dude, talk about, dude, it's on. Soon, dude, some kids go to college and that's all they're waiting for is to get to those frat parties. Like, serious,
Yeah.
bro. Girls get pregnant, bro. They have abortions, bro, all types of stuff, like all because of one drunk night. Honestly, we got to get into those places, bro, and share the love of recovery with people, bro.
I I agree, man. You have to
Yeah,
you have
man.
to start you have to start doing that kind of stuff. That's the work that needs to be done, especially in
Amen.
your community. You can do it in your community. I mean, you just have to get a couple people together and, go to the schools and go to the school board or whatever you need to do. I mean, I'm sure it can be done, you
Amen.
know? Just got to get in touch with the right people, have the right connections, and they can make it happen. But I think that's where you start is with the kids, the youth that are in the town,
Yep. Amen.
especially in your own backyard. Why not? You know?
That's good.
Uh, Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I think we've We've covered everything, man. We've talked about it all, and I
Yeah,
loved
bro.
it. This has been great.
Yeah.
Tim, I absolutely appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. I'd love to have you back in a year or so, and we'll do this again. You know, maybe next year on your sobriety on your sober anniversary, we do it again, huh?
Yeah, bro. Sounds good. And when's your date,
Dude,
bro? When's your clean date?
the 22nd of January.
Okay. Right on,
22nd
bro.
of Jan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
man.
should share your story too, bro. Like, because you're doing a lot of the interview and you're getting other people, but like you said, you're doing this for your recovery and your sobriety, bro. And like I said, bro, even though it's not about the time, it's what we do with our time, right? And so you feeling that itch, like some people call it, I don't know, the 7 year itch, whatever, do daily. Sometimes it's just getting through the day, bro. Like just hearing from another brother in recovery, like, yo, you're not alone, bro. Like it. I'm not saying it doesn't, yes, it does get easier and that obsession has been lifted, bro, but sometimes in that, when we're in that place, that's when things can be most detrimental. Like, whoa, like, all right, I got everything back, everything's good, I can have a drink. Yo, that's a lie, right? So we got to
Yeah.
stay vigilant, bro. We got to commune with one another, connect with one another, keep speaking out, bro, keep doing these podcasts, keep sharing our stories, keep going to meetings, bro, keep helping the new people. You know what I'm saying? And like doing what you're doing, bro, and be able to reach people. Yo, you reach me, bro. How many thousands of miles away? You know what I'm saying? And
I
like,
know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
that's powerful.
3,500 miles,
Dang,
5-hour time difference, and we're here. We're doing it. You know
dude.
why? Because we wanted to make it
Amen,
happen, so we made it happen. Listen, that's what it's about, man, making it happen.
amen, bro.
Finding the time, making it happen, sharing recovery. You know, man, this is what we're doing. This is
That,
what it's about. This is the entire reason for this whole podcast is these moments.
that's
So,
awesome.
dude, thank you. I appreciate you. And dude, we'll stay in touch and we'll keep talking and we'll keep talking about recovery and we'll keep chatting, man. And we'll do this again for sure. And listen, put me in touch with some people and we'll try to do some more great things. All right.
All right, sounds good. I love you, brother.
All right, man. Love you too. All right.
Yep.
Take care, Tim.
God
Appreciate
bless.
it.
See ya
All right. Later.
later.